Hey guys, it's Shauheen here at the Callaway Performance Center in Carlsbad, California. We are going to help you stay more connected in your golf swing. One of the biggest penalty moves that I see golfers make on the way down into the ball is when the trail arm, so for me as a right-handed golfer, that would be my right arm, start to separate and get disconnected from the body. Now, the scientific term for this is internal trail shoulder rotation. So what that looks like is when on the way down into the ball, you will see this trail arm, so that would be once again my right arm, start to separate and pull back away from my body. Now what this does is when this elbow separates and pulls behind me, because the entire arm is connected, when the elbow goes back, my hands go forward. The reason this is problematic is because if my hands are connected to the club, when the elbow goes back and my hands press forward, I'm going to start to steepen this shaft angle on the way down, which is going to cause me to get very narrow, cause the club to get way too far out in front of me. And from there, the only way to make contact with the ball is by swinging across it. And because my arms are so separated, I won't be able to control where the club actually enters the ground. So my low point control is going to be really bad. My direction is going to be really bad. It just becomes a mess. So what we want to do instead is the opposite, which would be called external shoulder rotation. This basically means that rather than having this elbow joint separate and get disconnected behind me, we actually want to feel like this elbow joint drives more in front of my body. If I do this very differently, so I'll show you the opposite, instead of the arm going here and disconnected and the club getting very narrow and steep, we want to feel as though that elbow actually drives in front of my body. And you'll notice that the club not only shallows out, it drops to the inside. My arms are much more connected to my body and everything moves together so I can control my strike better, but the movement of the shaft also becomes much more efficient for you. So a very good drill that we can work on is taking a ball and putting this ball between our elbows. Now, the reason that this is going to help you with your connection, I'll show you this without a club in my hands to start, is because if I do the problematic move where the elbow separates and gets behind me, I'm actually going to drop this ball. Because when the elbow separates, it creates this giant gap in between my arms where there's no way for the ball to stay in place. So the reason why this ball becomes a very good visual but also external cue is because if I have this ball between my elbows and we try to keep this together, my trail elbow has to drive a lot more in front of me. It not only keeps the arms obviously a lot more connected to each other, but if I do this with a club in my hands, which we're going to start this off by just putting the ball between the elbows and then you grab the club. Well, I'm going to go to the top, and now what you'll see is if I keep this connection together, the club stays in a much better position, and now I can actually rotate through the ball with ease. Whereas if I do that poor move one more time, elbow separates away from the body, club gets steep and narrow, there's just no way for me to make proper contact on this golf ball. So we're going to put this ball between our elbows one more time. We're going to line up to our target. We're going to do a few quick rehearsals, getting that sensation of not dropping this ball, really keeping these arms more connected to each other. And then we're going to start off once again with some 1/2 and 3/4 swings to get the feel. And this should help you to not only stay connected, but improve the movement of your club throughout your golf swing. So hopefully this helps. The more practice you get, the more comfortable you will be, and you'll start to straighten out that ball flight.